can actually start doing some programming, we need to have a programming environment installed on our computer. There are many programming languages out there, such as Java, C++, JavaScript, Perl, Python, and the such. The language we will be using for this course is known as Racket. Racket has a long history as being previously named Scheme, and before that it's a descendant of a language called Lisp. In order to download our programming language, we need to go to the language's website. You can find that link on my website or go to www.rackets-lang.org. This will take you to the Racket website. On the main page, there's a link to download Racket. Then you need to choose the appropriate version for whatever operating system you're running. Anything from 32 and 64-bit Windows to the Macintosh operating system, even versions for Linux. Choose one that's appropriate for you, download it, and follow the directions to install the Dr. Racket programming environment. Once installed, you can open Dr. Racket. I'm going to find it on my computer here. The most recent version as of this recording was version 5.3.1. I'm going to open Dr. Racket. The speed at which it opens might depend on your computer. And here is the Dr. Racket programming environment. I'm going to go ahead and expand that out so you see everything. Notice Dr. Racket opens up, and there's several features here. You have the standard menu bar up at the top, and then you have two different frames. The top frame is called the definitions pane. The bottom frame will be referred to as the interactions pane. Both of them serve useful features in programming in Dr. Racket. We will get to that later. Before you get started, however, take a look at the information at the top of the interactions pane. It should say Welcome to Dr. Racket version 5.3.1, may say a different version depending on what version you're using, and tell you what language you're in. Mine's showing that I'm in Beginning Student. Yours may not say that, and you may need to change that information. In order to change the language, we'll go to the menu bar at the top, choose Language, choose Language. Okay. Make sure the radio button next to Choose Language is selected, and you may need to expand the arrow next to How to Design Programs. Select the very first one, Beginning Student. Throughout this course we may progress through a couple more of these, but we want Beginning Student and click OK. Before that's actually activated, we need to go up here to Run and click Run, and now you should be activated in the Beginning Student language. Before we go on too much further, let me talk to you about finding information out when you need to learn how to do something or getting help. In Dr. Racket, there should be a help feature up here. You can either go to Racket Documentation or Help Desk. That'll actually take you to the documentation for Racket, and you can type into the documentation any search terms you want. You can search for function names or libraries, and it'll give you a list of things to choose from. You can also go back to the Racket language website and choose documentation and get exactly the same thing. Okay. One last thing, don't forget about the actual web page for the textbook we're using at www.picturingprograms.com. There's a lot of information on this website for you, including a place where you can download the entire textbook for free. That concludes our first introductory lesson to Dr. Racket and its programming environment.